Oh my goodness. So y'all remember our favorite Indian, okay? One of the good ones, Vivek Rababui, or better known as Vivek Ramaswamy. Well, I just wanted to give an update on him because, you know, he's been cosplaying as an American, trying to tell people what American ideals are and everything.
There's a different vision of American identity that's emergent in certain corridors of the online right. And it says that your identity as an American is based on your lineage. I think the idea of a heritage American is about as loony as anything the woke left has actually put up.
Trying to tell white people what America is, trying to tell black people about the struggle. Y'all remember the interview he did with Don Lemon and everything?
The part that I find insulting is when you say today black Americans don't have those rights after we have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have a different point of view.
Black and white that black people don't have in this country, and that black people do have.
Just he's been going on a tirade, and recently he's been running for Ohio governor. Ohio, all white. Okay, white. Vivek has come to a realization. That's what we'll say. Vivek, and I kid you not, Vivek has been bullied off of social media. Bruh. Bruh. Can you imagine a grown-ass man being bullied off of social media? As God is my witness. He said it himself, for lack of better words. He puts out a post talking about, I've deleted all my social media accounts, okay? Because, you know what, it's giving me, because he talks about how there's a whole bunch of slurs online. Because, you know, everyone's been attacking, you know, I'll say Indians, okay? That's what's been going on. Ever since the poop video that was done, ever since the poop video that was done, and, you know, you start having, what's his name, Kash Patel, and all these brown faces, just a little too many of them for the Republican Party. Just a little too many that they're starting to see. And now he's trying to run for governor of Ohio. No, that's not going to work. So they've been calling him, you know, a Jeet. They, you know, especially with J.D. Vance and his Indian wife, it's just been not a good look, okay? It seems that the white, you know, ignorance of the Republican Party seem to have Indian fatigue right now to adopt their lexicon, which is nothing more than a bastardization of Black American lexicon. But to speak to them, to communicate with them, they seem to have Indian fatigue. And he goes on to say that, hey, well, you know what? I need to get back into the real world, that social media is not a reflection of the real world, that I need.
Vivek Ramaswamy is always trying to make some headlines in regards to the things that he says. But one of the most diabolical things that I know about him is that one person that will always try to please white people. He will always try to please that white people to the extent that he also gets embarrassed. He also gets like mocked with everyone, the white community, because they don't resonate with him. But he tries so much to make people believe in him. And even the place that he lives is all white. And this tells you much about him. Like, he wants to be white. You understand, we have those type of people that they always want to be accepted. They'll fight so much to be accepted. And even to prove to people that they are great. Try to understand this. These people, they are always empty because they don't believe in themselves. They have to like sit with a given group to feel like they're here. I understand that Vivek is a billionaire with 1.9 billion, according to Forbes, as for 2026, his net worth, right? I understand that and I respect that, but I don't understand his rhetoricals. I don't understand how Black people, even today in the 21st century, Black people are not experiencing racism. That's something that I can still not fathom until right now. But brothers and sisters, I don't want to say much because he's so much used to talking negatively about Black people. The other time he said that he's going to be doing away with affirmative action, that affirmative action has made Black people believe that they are one of the most important things. Trust me, without affirmative action, even you, Vivek, I don't know your lineage, but you're not like American. You have Indian ties or something like that, I don't know. But it is because of the affirmative action It is because that your parents were able to accumulate a lot of wealth, or probably you learned in the United States, you learned in Yale University, right? How did you reach there? How did you become a member of, the Yale University? Like, you are amongst the top 1% of the United States. I understand that, but look, how did you manage to climb to that ladder if it wasn't for black people? So don't use the ladder to climb and then cut it down and say that the ladder didn't help you, because you just making it making it hard for yourself. So brothers and sisters, I want us to watch this video. I'll be back and then I'll be sharing my thoughts in regards to this. As you know, I'm your host and presenter Agenic Stories, but until then, I'm hoping to see you in my next video. So let's get into it. I'll be back.
Do any of you know the saying, God doesn't like ugly? Well, do you remember the CNN interview with Don Lemon and Vivek Ramaswamy, where Vivek tried to tell Don Lemon that the Civil War basically was false so that the black people could have their Second Amendment rights. And Don tried to say to him, that's not why the Civil War was fought. The Civil War was fought to give black people freedoms, which they really haven't had. And of course, Vivek came back saying, don't say that about our country. And Don said to him, you have not lived in black skin, so you have no way of telling me about what freedoms are. Well, Vivek learned in Ohio exactly what Don was saying, that this is a fucking racist country. You need to go watch that town hall where all those little white Christian boys and Timu Charlie Kirks gave him an understanding. You're a fucking Hindu. You are a brown-skinned person. We don't want you here in Ohio, which is basically what he was trying to explain. Don was trying to explain to him, if you don't live in my skin, you don't understand what it's like living in my skin. Those little white boys just gave it to him. And I am so happy. God don't like ugly. Eventually it will catch up with you.
Republican candidate for president Vivek Ramaswamy also gave his reaction to the shooting this morning on Meet the Press. Now, Ramaswamy claimed that racism is dwindling in this country and he does not want to add fuel to the fire. But on Friday, he said this on the campaign trail in Iowa.
I'm sure the boogeyman white supremacist exists somewhere in America. I've just never met him. Never seen one. Never met one in my life, right? Maybe I'll meet a unicorn sooner.
The white hooded party just get on here and say the most asinine things that you can even think of. Now, I never met Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Now, does that mean that he doesn't exist? I've never met Magic Johnson. Does that mean he doesn't exist? I've never met LeBron James. Does that mean that he doesn't exist? As a matter of fact, little homie, you can always visit Charlottesville, Virginia. Because it was fine people on both sides. Or you can visit Texas, El Paso. Hell, you can even make your way to Los Angeles. Then go ahead and proceed to Buffalo. And go ahead and make your way down to South Carolina, South Kakalaki, if you would. Oh, I guarantee you'll find one there. Then just go ahead and slide on down to Jacksonville, Florida. Oh, and how can I forget the California Police Department? Because, they only got a few bad apples. And if you're feeling froggy, go ahead and hop on over to New Zealand. They not hard to find there either. And truth be told, you don't have to add fuel to the fire when you are the fire. Burn, baby, burn. And those would be facts on facts on facts on top of facts. Carry on.
The idea that you get ahead in this country not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your contributions. That is why I've said I will end affirmative action in America. It's been a cancer on our national soul, and we are done with it. What does it mean to be American? It means we believe in the rule of law.
Now, maybe it's just me, but I find it hard to believe that it's not about the color of someone's skin, while you sit there and preach to a crowd of nothing but white people how we should take away something created because white people did not want to provide the opportunity to be successful to anyone other than white people. But maybe that's just me.
I think Vivek Ramaswamy might be showing the whole world how to lose an election. Vivek started as pretty much a nobody, and then he ran for president in 2024, which he ended up dropping out and endorsing Trump. And then he was supposed to be a part of Doge with Elon Musk, and then he backed out of that. Then he basically told the whole world that we need H-1B visas and that Americans don't work hard enough, which obviously pissed off Americans. And then he decided to run for governor of Ohio. So the other day he came out with this Wall Street Journal article where he says social media is a trap for politicians. I'm swearing off Instagram and X, where it's too easy to get a distorted sense of the public's concerns. So apparently any kind of post now on any of these sites is just going to be from his team, I guess updating on if he's doing like a campaign or something. But he himself is not going to be running these accounts. It's funny because he just posted this less than a month ago. If you're scared of your comment section, you're not fit to lead. Funny how things change in just like a 3-week period. And his opponent in the Republican primary has straight been calling him out on it. In 2026, in the age of social media, you can't quit social media and expect to win an election. That is the best way to talk to your voters and communicate with them. And what you're saying is that you're scared of them or scared of having any kind of pushback at all, which is not a good look when you're trying to be the leader of the whole state of Ohio.
Good morning. Not feeling my best, but I did make it today, okay? But everybody remember presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy. You remember him, correct? This man right here. He ran on the Conservative Party for President of the United States, and he was a strong advocate for President Trump. Well, he announced that he was stepping from his platform and he was going to allow other people to run it. Now, this just happened a few days before an incident happened. And what am I talking about? Well, it turns out that his bodyguard was arrested last week alongside his wife for drug trafficking. Justin Salisbury, 43, and Ruth Ann Salisbury, 38, from Bellefontaine, were charged in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Ohio with conspiracy to distribute and possess with intent to distribute 40 grams or more of fentanyl, and possess with intent to distribute a detectable amount of fentanyl and methamphetamine. Justin Salisbury worked for ARC Protection, which leads Ramaswamy's security detail, while Salisbury's wife worked for Urbana City Schools. Ramaswamy is the leading candidate right now to win the Republican nomination for the state of Ohio for governor. Okay? Ramaswamy will likely face Democrat Amy Acton, a former state health director who served under DeWine, and that was Governor Mike DeWine, whose term will expire. Listen to this here. The affidavit also alleges Salisbury used cryptocurrency to pay for some of the postage through a cryptocurrency website, which it says appeals to shippers who traffic in controlled substances like drugs purchased on the dark web. Later, the investigator obtained warrants from U.S. District Court to search multiple parcels sent to Salisbury. Inside the parcels was 119 grams of blue pills that tested positive for fentanyl, which were consistent with counterfeit Oxycontin, and more than 4,000 grams of methamphetamine. Investigators tracked Salisbury using GPS tracking device and observed him and his wife handling the packages. The affidavit also warned authorities to be careful if they arrest him because he worked for a security firm and likely owned firearms.
Ohio said pick one, and MAGA said, wait a minute. Now, I don't know if y'all watching the Ohio's governor's race, but it's getting real tight. But I'm not surprised by that. Because Vivek Ramaswamy is running for governor because he still believes in white adjacency. See, Vivek thinks racism in America is like TSA pre-check. That if you dress right, talk right, and smile real hard, they'll just wave you on through. Sir, this is America. The scanner still goes off. Keep telling y'all, a lot of immigrants don't understand this part yet. And some Indians that have immigrated here tried to bring that caste system mindset over here. But baby, that system don't convert. It's like trying to plug a European charger into an American outlet. It doesn't fit, and it never will. In America, the caste system is simple. White at the top, and everybody else somewhere under the porch. And being light bright and damn near white does not make you white. That's why the Ohio race is so interesting. Because the Democrat is a woman, and the Republican is a brown man. So y'all know MAGA is stressed right now, honey. Do they vote for the man who has a name they cannot pronounce, or do they vote for the woman that they think should be in the house making biscuits? This is Sophie's choice for misogyny and racism. And think about it. Even Ted Cruz knows you got to start calling yourself Ted instead of Raphael if you want to blend in. So who do you think will win the race? And what do you think it's going to take for people like Vivek to wake up and realize that white supremacy is not taking non-white application?
Now that Ramaswamy is becoming a household name, I think that really we need to talk about him. He is actually piquing the interest of African Americans and Hispanic Republicans. We know what he stands for is anti-woke messages, and he's against affirmative action. And I find that very interesting because he is an Indian man. He has attended and received degrees from 2 Ivy League institutions. However, the way that he got there is really interesting. First of all, he benefited from affirmative action. I think it's really important that we highlight this. He himself got a generous fellowship, which was intended to provide opportunities to groups who have historically been marginalized. So yeah, this is him, the one who's railing against affirmative action, even though he received it. And the most interesting information about him receiving these scholarships is the fact that Sorrow's family gave him the scholarship. Not George, but his brother Paul. Still a democratic, philanthropic family. And because of this information, he literally paid to have the Wikipedia page scrubbed. And I'm going to say shame on Wikipedia for scrubbing this information. Now, this news information came out around April, May, but of course our focus wasn't on Vivek. But it is now. You definitely deserve our attention. We know DeSantis is pretty much done. And now we got to get rid of you, Vivek. But his fellowship says the Soros Fellow. And he definitely didn't want this information to get out. So make sure you forward this video to everyone and let the world know that he received a Soros Scholarship Fellowship. He is an oxymoron, and he definitely can't be trusted. He will sell out his own people if he needs to. Anyway, carry on.
Do you remember that girl in high school that was willing to delegitimize the experiences of all her female friends just for like a little bit of male attention? She was like, other girls just get so emotional over stuff, but not me, right, Jason? Like, I'm not like them, right? That's what this guy is. Do you want proof? On August 28th, a white man with a swastika on his assault-style rifle went to an HBCU to end the lives of black children, as he told us himself in his manifesto that he wrote. He was unsuccessful, so then he went to a Dollar Tree and ended the lives of these 3 black human beings, a federal hate crime. And just a couple of days before this event happened, this is what Vivek Ramaswamy said.
I've never once encountered that yet. I'm sure the boogeyman white supremacist exists somewhere in America. I've just never met him. Never seen one. Never met one in my life, right? Maybe I'll meet a unicorn sooner. And maybe those exist too.
Do you want to see how rhetoric like this emboldens racists? just a few days after the Jacksonville shooting, 100 miles down the road in Altamont, Florida, white supremacists gathered in the streets with their swastikas to do this.
White power! White power! White power! White power! White power! White power!
How does all of this relate to Vivek Ramaswamy? I mean, after all, these self-proclaimed white supremacist neo-Nazis seem to like another Republican candidate a little bit more.
Vote for Ron DeSantis! Yeah, Ron DeSantis. 2024.
Well, it's because Vivek's refusal to acknowledge white supremacy as a real thing that happens in the real world does a couple of very key things. One, it poses as his audition to be a safe haven for these men. If you keep your mask on, I will keep my shades on. I will stand in the highest position of power while not acknowledging that you exist, allowing you to continue to do what you're already doing. What's important to remember is that the people in these masks are people. They are police officers and teachers of black students and employers and loan officers. And Vivek's refusal to acknowledge their racism, it invites them to feel comfortable in the shadows. The second thing that Vivek's refusal to acknowledge them does is it delegitimizes the idea that white supremacy is real enough to have real victims in the real world. This allows the people who are not victims of white supremacy, but also are not perpetuators of white supremacy, to hear just enough conflicting stories to justify staying completely out. This side saying white supremacy exists and that side saying it's not, and I don't know, so I just gotta stay out. See, what Vivek is doing pairs really nicely with what Amani just taught us about semiotic theory. Communication works when you pair a sign with context, then you get a meaning, and that meaning elicits a response. The sign would be a white supremacist saying, I don't like black people, so I'm going to use a weapon to end their lives. The context is a country that has struggled with race. The natural response would be black people saying, white supremacy is here, it's real, and it's scary. But what Vivek and other Republicans seek to do is manipulate the circumstances under which those signs were read, recontextualizing our understanding of the communication. A natural response to a white supremacist ending the lives of black people, telling us that he's a white supremacist, is to say white supremacy is clearly real and it's dangerous. Vivek's response does not line up with the signs and the context, therefore encouraging people to look for a different context to explain Vivek's response. Does that make sense? And if that did make sense, I'm going to put it more simply. It's gaslighting, but the gaslighting results in death.
Who the heck is this skinny guy with a funny last name, and what the heck is he doing in the middle of this debate?
I feel like the exact right word for what this guy is has not been invented yet. Like he's an AI simulation of an avatar of a cartoon.
So brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great. You know, Vivek Ramaswamy could do anything he wants to do. He could vie for any group that you want to vie for. He could like do anything that you want to do. But the fact that he's always like trying to make black people be like they're the problem or they're the enemy, you know, they're the problem and they're the enemy of everyone, and painting black people to be in a given form is not right. Like you should just vie for you, do your thing, but leave black people out of your mouth. Black people doesn't owe you anything, bro. Just mind your business. Just do your stuff, because that's all you do. Just do your stuff. You could campaign all you want, but don't make black people be or look like they did some type of a problem that have never been seen. The fact that you're out there trying to complain that black people should not, there is no racism that is happening in the United States today, that's so much diabolical. Because understand that people like you are part of the problem. You are the ones who are causing all these problems that you're seeing. You form part and parcel of the problem that the United States is going through. You understand that such kind of rhetoric are so much divisive, are so much racist. To make matters worse, the people that you're trying to look good to, They don't give a damn about you. They don't even care about you. And this is the problem. Well, you're a person who has a lot of wealth, but you are empty inside. You know, Vivek Ramaswamy is one of those people that they could afford shit. They have all that, but they are empty inside. And so since they have grown, wanting to be so much big, wanting to be so much great, and since they are indoctrinated with the white supremacy, they want to prove themselves that they can pull some strings. And that's why you see Vivek Ramaswamy so much on the white community, even though those people don't want him. There was a time on a debate with all these young Gen Alpha kids who are trying to debate him on these social issues. I was being asked a question. How are you going to stand for how are you, I don't know, he was running for a senator or something. I honestly don't know. I stand to be corrected, right? All what these kids were asking him was like, you're not a Christian. What are you doing in politics? You have to be a Christian. These people don't love you. These people have never given a damn about you. And it is time you understand how all these things happen. It is time you get to see it for yourself. Because learn to have some respect for yourself, brother. You don't even respect yourself because you're trying to force yourself to people that don't even care about you, to people that don't even think about you. So you're going to lose yourself. You're going to lose yourself, soul, trying to please people that don't even sleep and think about you. You don't know the challenges that American blacks are always going through. Those people have gone through a lot, brothers and sisters. So for you to say that you're going to do away with affirmative action, oh, racism doesn't exist, man, cut the shit, man. We are used to all this rhetorical that all these people from the far right always say. That's the narrative, right? And you're just acting according to the script that you are giving. All this propaganda that you push towards, this propaganda about black people that you push towards white people, you push to them so that you get their approval, so that you get loved. And I mean, we have seen people that have taken that direction. We have seen people that have gone through all that, but at the end of the day, they didn't get anything. They didn't find anything out of it. And so you are not that special. And you need to learn that you are not that special. You need to make yourselves out of yourself. Don't embarrass yourself. Just don't embarrass yourself. Because all you're doing is embarrassing yourself and embarrassing your family and embarrassing those people who believe in you. So when you go around campaigning, just campaign like any person. Don't go and use this divisive rhetoric that all these people come use the same script, right? So I'm gonna be like going through some comments that people talked about. I mean, in regards to this, so somebody say that Vivek said he never met the boogeyman, white supremacist. Ask him the question again. After the white folks kicked him so bad that he left social media and cut him down at rallies. I can't believe that. He's Indian American. Yeah, there are always all these people that are trying to prove themselves, brothers and sisters. And I've told you, they're trying so much to be accepted into the white cult. But that's one thing that white people can never give. You understand that they're so mean with that. They will never give you that. Somebody's saying that a lot of people in this, a lot of these people working for this administration that have committed crimes are all going to jail. Happy trials, off you will go. Yeah, they all have the same rhetoric. That's all they have ever had. That's all they have, you know. Somebody's saying that, did anybody told this CLOWN that the laws were written for white people and not him? Did not anybody tell him that he needs to paint his face white? Let him learn. let him let him let him learn the hard way, right? Because that's what he needs. Somebody said that I don't understand why they won't accept Vivek with open arms like he went. After all, most of the people holding office or running things are the very people you white Americans don't want to run America. The only difference is that many of them change their names or become more American. Something Vivek didn't do. Immigrants who pass for white running countries, telling other immigrants they can't be here. They can't be here. There's nothing special about you, Vivek. Just paint your face white. And you're gonna be getting that seat. Boy, go do your thing. Boy. Brothers and sisters, please let me know what you think and feel about this video. I'm your host and President at G Stories. But until then, I'm hoping to see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.